All right, let me do this. All right.
All right.
I'm going off. Oh, Chris is going off the script. Okay, so I've been waiting to tell you this story.
All right.
By the way, everybody, Ant-Man and the Wasp spoiler review and discussion. All right,
Welcome.
So check this out. Now we've talked about this. I think I know you and I have talked about it, but I think maybe on our Jagged Edge weekly show we've talked about this. My mom is trying to get into the MCU movies.
Cool. Okay.
You know this, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and I told you how she reacted to Infinity War.
Yeah, you did.
She was pissed when everyone got dusted. Oh, I had to make sure she didn't say anything when we left the theater because there was a line of people waiting to get in.
Oh.
Yeah, she almost spoiled that whole thing for people. I could hear she's like, I can't believe they did that to Spider-Man. I was like, you cannot say anything yet. You have to wait until we're outside the theater. So going into this one, we talked about this. We knew we had guessed someone was going to get dusted.
Yep.
And before I went and saw it yesterday, I actually caught I read what the after credit scenes were, and it's like, lo and behold, oh yeah. Yeah, they all get dusted.
We get some dusting. Yeah.
Everybody gets dusted.
Yes.
So knowing this, I asked my mom, do you want to go see Ant-Man and Wasp with me? I mean, I'm setting it up for that she's I'm going to traumatize her again.
Chris.
No, she's like, why would I want to see it? It's like, it's the last one. It's Infinity War. You have to see what happens. And so we watched the movie, and I can tell she's enjoyed it. I mean, she's overly vocal in the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we get to the first after credit scene. Was this the first or second one for you when they get dusted?
This was second for me.
Was it the second one? The Ant one was first?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The Ant one was second. You're right. The dusting was the first. Yep.
Okay, well, because they are different sometimes.
No, they are.
We found that they're different. Okay, so yeah, it shows up, and I see him like, oh god, here we go. And I just sit there I'm just like very still, like, oh, she's gonna freak out. I'm watching the screen, but I'm kind of watching her. I'm like, she's gonna freak out. You should have seen it when Han Solo died in Force Awakens. Oh my god, she went nuts. And so we go through the whole thing, and then he's like counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, and then he goes dead, and then they show them dusted, and she's like, "What?" And she's just shocked, and she's like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And I'm trying to hide Smiley, but I can't. Smile my ass.
You are a cruel man.
And I'm just like, you can tell. I want to say, gotcha. They all died in front of you again. All your heroes are dead again. I couldn't help it though.
You're like that bully hole in the comic book.
Oh, it was so good. I've been laughing about it, thinking about it on and off all day. I got her again. Maybe if they do it in S.H.I.E.L.D. too, I'll get her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you really want to get into the MCU, you got to start watching this show.
You're giving her some Battletoads level scars, man. This is the roughest entry in the MCU. Bear in mind, let's look back before all this Infinity War stuff. We were getting in the MCU. We kind of had that feathered landing. We watched Iron Man 1. Got early into Thor. We had the first Avengers. All that. There wasn't any dusting. There wasn't any.
No, they've really made up for their lack of killing heroes.
Yeah, they did. In fact, what we had end of Avengers 1, man, we were just sitting at a burger joint. That was the extra credits.
That was not written. That's something that Robert Downey Jr. just wanted to do. Yeah, there's a little bit of story in that. Yeah, so yep, definitely. And I told you before I started, spoilers. They get dusted. Hank Pym, Van Dyne, Hope.
Yep.
The Wasp. They're gone.
I
was expecting one of them to stick around.
Right.
And I'm not going to get into why, because then we're talking about Avengers 4 spoilers.
Right.
And I'm not going to get into that. But I was expecting at least one of them, because Scott Lang, as awesome as he is not. He's not studying particles. He doesn't know a lot about this stuff. He's stuck.
No, he doesn't. And what a spot to be in. I mean, in case you're wondering for carrying on to the next Avengers, you're looking at, man, where's Ant-Man? What's happening? Well, he's kind of stuck in the quantum realm.
What do you think he's gonna do?
Yeah, this is wild, dude. I mean, bear in mind, I immediately I jump back to the first Ant-Man film. He was able to get there, and before they created this gate, before they had the rest of this tech, before they were going about collecting and even then, I still don't think he. It's not like you said, he has such a greater pool of knowledge about this stuff now.
No, he's a fairly tech savvy guy.
He is.
He can break into safes and stuff, but that's a little bit different than understanding, particle space.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't have any more understanding of this. But in the same hand, and I want to tap you a little bit for this. In the first film, take me back a bit, because I was a goofball and I did not watch Ant-Man 1 before watching this. I probably should have.
No, I didn't either.
Okay, fair enough. In Ant-Man 1, when he quantum dived, remind me, how did he get back?
Basically, he was losing consciousness, but he collected himself enough to reverse the suit, because the suit only shrinks and goes back to normal size.
Right.
He reverses something in the belt, which is where some of the tech is for the suit, and he's able to bring himself back to normal size.
That's what he rewired. That's right. Right. The trick that we have here is this doesn't, his trip now does not seem, just suit induced. The fact that
they got that whole thing in the car.
Yeah, all this is assisted now. The way they're pushing into this, so this is like a giant science experiment that you really need your aids on. Man, I don't know, man. He could be waiting a while.
Well, so that's part of the question. What is a while in quantum space?
See. And this gets us into something that I was rather surprised about, and also leads into one of my criticisms too. About Van Dyne. When the interesting premise that we have here is there's this entanglement that's happened, and we get this early in the film. We realize that Hope's mother is indeed alive, but she has reached out in such a way, not just to leave a clue with Lang himself, but also to sort of really inhabit his mind in a way. And she's really the one through Lang is able to make the last corrections they need to stabilize the gate and to lock on to exactly where she is. Now,
he did that well, by the way. That was serious and funny at the same time.
No, it was fun. That was a well done scene. I agree. Looking at all that though, and just looking at where she stands and supposedly the things that she gained. Her time in quantum space, it's been at least 20, 30 years?
It's been 30 years.
30 years. 30 years is what they've established. She markedly says that time functions differently here on this plane. And, honestly, the thing I was expecting, I was really wondering, especially when Lang saw into her mind a little bit, was, has she aged?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she does, and I was really wondering. I said, okay, has she been in some sort of stasis? Did she overage, if anything? But no, I mean, she looks about how you think. At least 30 years later, or so. So we know that.
I don't know where she got makeup in the quantum realm. But she did.
Oh, this leads some more of my criticisms. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She got the makeup. She got a cool cloak in there too.
What was she eating?
I wonder that too. And look, before I go any further, one thing here is I'm just going to nickname this quantum magic.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, I'm stepping all over you. The point you're trying to make.
No,
you're setting it up, and I'm just like, well, what
about this?
A, B, and C, and I'm like stepping on G.
We're getting there. The whole point with what we have with all this is this whole quantum magic concept. We see that time still has an effect. But there's a heck of a lot we just don't understand here that we're just given. And
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's part of one of my biggest frustrations here. Van Dyne comes out of this so changed, down to the point where she has abilities to
Right.
even interface with, manipulate people who have like quantum sickness, so to speak. That's her whole thing with
Right.
Ghost. The fact she's able to step out and hold up, I got this. Let me.
Yeah, that's one of the weakest parts of the whole movie.
I agree.
Is just like, here's a little touchy-feely time, and then you're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
but just she says in the quantum realm when talking to Hank, I've evolved.
right, right.
Maybe look, I give the MCU the benefit of the doubt, and I will do it here. And I have a feeling that Ant-Man 3 will expound on all of this.
Yeah.
But still, little sucky cheap.
Yeah, this is where we push the magic in so well, and it brought me back immediately to a point you raised when we were doing our Black Panther review. You said, we understand how powerful vibranium is and everything, but we just sort of have this vibranium magic vibe.
Yeah, it's in everything.
It's in everything.
It cures cancer.
Yeah, it'll fix your backache, fix
Isn't
your headache.
Contaminated rock, shouldn't that cause cancer? No, but it doesn't.
No, man, you're good. Good.
Just eat the flower, find out what happens.
So we kind of go into that magic territory again, except here it's even more of a bummer. Wakanda is able to ride this train a little bit better, in my opinion, because of the idea of this alien rock, something exclusive to them. But the quantum realm is something we could see, I think, having a larger impact, because it's something that is constant. It's a constant. It's always present. It's surrounding everything at all points within space time.
Why don't you just say what it is? It's the Force.
Use the Force, Luke.
It sounds like you're explaining the Force.
But no, it's
a dimension beyond our comprehension.
Yeah,
and is a real theory.
It is. No, it is. And in my opinion, one of the greatest chances we had to really get some real meat on the bones.
Like the Force.
About this stuff, like the Force. Hey, don't let me get into metachlorian counts. I'm gonna go.
I was too late. I should have said it sooner, but I was no, all right, never mind.
All right,
you had an actual point, and I just shat all over it with my late joke. Sorry.
No. No, dude, it's fine. That actually was in a fun way because we still got to G after A B C D E F. Anyway, man, no. This is where the spot where the boat's missed a little bit. There's a lot more that I would have liked to have gotten, even from Van Dyne, or just even some small hints about this. But this is one of the largest points of the film. I think that's kind of casted aside, that we lose in a lot of the smaller things that are happening in those inner workings. So, oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
What did you think of this second after credit scene? I thought it was really. It was kind of jarring because at first it clearly happens after the dusting.
It does,
because the TV station's on color bars, which I caught the reference, but I bet you a lot of younger people aren't, because I haven't seen color bars on TV in decades.
No, it's been a while.
But I knew what it meant, and then it's like, oh, here's the world in a state of almost apocalypse.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, there's an ant playing some drums.
I couldn't help but I had this kind of ironic, kind of like uneasy smirk, because the most disturbing thing about this is this world, post Infinity Gauntlet. The effects of the death spell has gone off. It's obviously, like you said, it's basically an apocalypse situation everywhere, and I think it's just the disturbing silence that you hear on top of, the empty signal. It's just like, oh man, the world's gone to pot. So there's a kind of, a nice quick smile for the end there. And here's what did it for me even more. That hanging question mark on that last sentence that comes up.
Oh, yeah.
The Ant-Man and Wasp will return?
Yeah. Guess what, everyone? If you haven't been paying attention, Spider-Man 2 comes out 3 weeks after Avengers 4, and he's been dead.
Yep.
These people are coming back.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but most of them.
No, they will. So again, it kind of
all the ones that made money, which is all of them. Except for those who don't have contracts anymore. They don't want to make their movies anymore.
Yeah. So But no, man. That was one of the major things that was missed. I do want to poke at something else, kind of funny here. That how spastic the FBI was trying to stay on Lang's case. That poor Nora has got kicked in so many times. I couldn't help but just kind of smile and say, man, I'm surprised they didn't leave someone closer to his premises, because I mean they're like sprinting across town. She checks like, oh, is he still there?
I was surprised actually the last time they didn't. There wasn't some kind of gag where like they just kind of pushed and the door fell down.
Same here.
Or was they get you a good look at the door and it's been all like kicked in and crap, and it's like it's barely on the hinges and stuff. And no, they're trying to catch him. Which kind of makes sense though, because I mean they're trying to find Hope and Hank, and I'm sure the government wants to get their hands on that PIM tech.
Of course.
They're all about the PIM particles.
The other thing too, you would think it would be kind of jarring for some people to sort of see the way things shrink and enlarge the way they do, especially that lab. There are a couple moments with that lab where I just kind of chuckled. It's like, did anybody see that? I mean, we're still like in the middle of a block. Like this is crazy.
Well, in to their credit on that, like Hank and Hope, they try to place that thing in places
they do
that's inconspicuous, and then when they shrink it, it's not such a big deal.
Right.
But then there was it was Ghost that just like right here in the street, right here.
I think that was probably my favorite one near the end. She used it right in the street, and it still has the briefcase top.
Yeah.
That is
zero shits given.
And had she waited just a little longer, she could have just got free touchy-feely.
Yeah. Just wait for the touchy-feely. Yeah. That actually, now that I'm thinking about that might make a little bit more sense. While it doesn't explain Michelle Pfeiffer's character's powers at all, they were trying to siphon energy out of her,
right?
To fix Ghost,
right.
So maybe that makes a little bit more sense than that. I don't think that attached for me before. Now that still explains nothing about what's happened to Van Dyne, but
right.
Yeah.
I'll
give that a little bit more of a pass.
There you go. Yeah, and then the concept. I liked the treatment of Ghost here. And one thing watching this really made me look back at see where this character been. Where it was based. Now I was actually surprised. Now Ghost was more associated with Iron Man, villain wise.
But that happens.
Yeah. He does when he first started. So rerouting that and having this character appear in Ant-Man with the way she did, which I thought was stylish. I like the concept of having a quantum illness. We see early on that she's involved in an accident. Her parents died, the lab's destroyed, and she's the only survivor.
A very typical superhero and or
very
supervillain origin.
Very typical.
Yeah, nice to see that. We don't get to see that a lot.
And S.H.I.E.L.D., of course, quickly takes notice. They list her as a quantum phenomenon, take her in early on. And really...
No, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Because I liked how that fit into the world that they've created with S.H.I.E.L.D., which was probably Hydra that was doing that.
Exactly.
Had that not been a story previously in the MCU, that would have not only confused me, but probably would have pissed me off a little bit.
And I instantly thought back to the types of experiments Hydra was running, the things they were trying to create. I mean, it really was an amazing mirror of kind of like the same Nazi experimentation with super tech or really advanced things.
With Scarlet Witch and her dead brother.
Yep.
Quicksilver. He was very dead.
The whole deal. Oh man, the whole deal. But yeah, she had a great introduction. I like that concept about her character. Really, just trying to survive. And this is one thing cool about Marvel. You can't say they have a villain problem at this point. If anything, I say Ghost is more of the threat instead of the super villain here. Mm-hmm. And I mean, what better drive than to live? There's a lot that you can sort of get around here and say, oh, why didn't she wait? Or why is she so impatient? Well, she's kind of about to die. So what would you do?
Yeah.
I think that's a
Or
fun
go
way to
after
pair
a
it.
guy's kid like she wanted to.
Yeah.
Just get his kid.
Yeah, I'll just take the kid. Doesn't matter.
You've been assassinating people for a bit too long.
Yeah.
You need to chill.
Yeah. No.
Special white-haired lady's gonna come and give you the special touchy.
Yeah, touchy
Fine, just chill out.
Just chill out.
And that, honestly, and again, that's one of the areas where I thought the plot was little overly convoluted. I mean, Ghost and Bill Foster, Lawrence Fishburne's character, are basically working for the same goal.
They are.
That Hank and Hope and Scott are, and it's just. And I know they kind of toy with it where Bill's like, well, maybe we should just let them do it. And she's like, no. And, it felt like it was conflict for the sake of conflict.
Right.
Where really it's like, look, you got a bunch of brainy people here who understand the importance of working together for the common good.
Right.
Because none of them are showing, besides Ghost, none of them are showing any lack of understanding for that.
Right.
And it felt overly conflictive and unnecessary, and it's like, yeah, it seemed, and I get it because obviously it would be very boring if the heroes and villains were like, hey, let's just all sit down at a table together and work out our issues and figure out a plan that everybody will be happy with. I mean, no, that sucks, but it felt a bit contrived.
It did. No, it did, and that's one of the weak points this runs into. Other than that, something I'm impressed with just combat-wise, and I want to say this about Hope / the Wasp, is how she has really mastered shifting forms and using that to her advantage into just pure velocity. And one thing you can really sort of feel in this film is just thinking about like the idea of it. Like, if something really small was moving really fast and all of a sudden it just shifts to a large, you're going to hit like a bus. Like, and her way to really do that at will shows a really great degree of control. I mean, this is someone who, she obviously has not been slacking off on her training with this, which was, I thought, a great twist. Lang kind of forced to be down, so to speak, and really stay off of things, obey his court orders, obey his probations, and obviously, Hope has been going at this like a martial artist.
Now you point out something new and exciting and fresh. I'm going to point out something hilarious, and that's when Scott Lang is stuck outside in the school. That was so great.
Oh man, and see, that's where, like I was talking about in the non-spoiler, the sound design palette for this comes in so well. The soundtrack for that school portion was perfect. It sounds like I don't know if you remember, like in Mario Kart, if someone hit the minimize random item that minimized everybody but you and you could get ahead. It was like that. It changed the whole soundtrack. It makes the whole soundtrack sound miniature without sounding like squeaky and everything. But they killed it. I want to give that audio mixer a hug. Whoever did that. So, no man, that
nerd.
Yeah, big time.
They synthesized it just perfectly. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
I respect it.
No, I know.
I'm just playing.
How many hertz did you record that? Was that 4816?
Oh my god. Should do the voice. That's not your voice, it's my voice.
No, it's not. I tried.
Get your own
tried
voice.
to imitate it. I tried.
You did try though. You get an A for effort. No, it's fun. Yeah, I think I'm done.
Yeah. No, it's it's
See
funny.
you later, everybody. Go listen to something else now.
Funny you're done. No, but hey, this was solid again in our non-spoiler. We both gave this a solid 8, right on the head. I think this is something over time that can even overcome some of the shortcomings we mentioned about the quantum realm and some of the other things. But again, worth seeing, worthy MCU entry. We're gonna see where we go from here.
I got a question for you before we go.
Yeah.
I just thought of something. All right. Scott Lang is in the quantum realm when the dusting happens. If he's not in there, does he get dusted or not? And to further that, is the fact that he's not dusted, the fact that he's in quantum realm, does that save him?
To your first question, no, I don't think his being present in the quantum realm has a bearing on whether or not he gets dusted.
Okay.
B, I don't think that saved him, and I say that because his life, this is just me, just throwing my own conjecture against this, he still counts as part of the human population, regardless of how infinitesimal he's become.
Fair point.
Like I think that life in the grand order of things would still count, because the whole idea is balance. Like, if he's wiped out along with everybody else who was dusted, I think that would represent an imbalance. There's been a kind of irony in all this, even with all the losses. Someone from these groups have been left behind. Mm-hmm. Or there's been something, you could point to that as some irony or a case. Sure, there could be cases around the world where a whole family just got wiped out in the name of balance. I'll give it that, but
except for the family dog.
Except for the dog, because the dog stays.
The dog opens the fridge and has a field day.
I think even the dog would get it, dude.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I was thinking about the two. Do doggies and kitties, do they get dusted
life,
too?
Life,
yeah.
Period.
Look at you, it's like, it's everybody.
It's done.
It's in the wiki.
Get off, man. Go look at it.
Oh my god.
No. But no,
what the?
I don't think, you
scared me there.
I just went beast mode. But, I don't think Hank, I'm sorry, Hank. I don't think Lang gets a pass.
Okay, you think that was just the random all right.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because some people were thinking we were going to see Hawkeye, and Hawkeye was going to drag Scott into this somehow. We did not see that.
We didn't at all.
What do you think drags him into this? Because we know we see him in Avengers 4.
Man, I'm just going to call it right now. My early theory on this, I think part of, if not all of his family gets dusted.
Dude, that's so rough, though.
Isn't it?
I don't want that to happen, but I think, yeah.
It's the last thing you want to see happen for a character like that. But the more I look at it, and I say, look, this is a guy that was finally ready to hang up the hat. He's put his time in. He's paid his dues. He's fought alongside Cap and everybody else. He's even gone through the trouble with between S.H.I.E.L.D. and everyone else of keeping his family away from all this, giving them a low profile, trying to give them some semblance of a life. And just when he's ready to go back and really hang up the hat, he's called back into action. What else would bring him back except a threat like that? I don't see it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think that's it too. I think his kids are gonna get it.
It sucks, man.
Yeah.
Woo.
On that happy note, everybody. All right. We'll see you later. You got to be careful because Ian was going into beast mode here a minute ago. It's kind of scary. I think he needs to eat something. Oh my god!
I know.
You're still doing it.
I become a. They say you become a diva when you don't have a Snickers. Maybe I need to keep a Snickers near when I record these.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Or a cage.
A cage.
Go throw yourself in a cage.
All right. Well, now I know how to frighten Chris. Known. All right.
Okay. All right. Let us know what you think. Continue the discussion below, please. What were your favorite things about Ant-Man and the Wasp? What did you think about the story, about Van Dyne's magical new powers, her evolution? Who do you think makes the better small, large person? Actually, you know what? Now that I think about that, did the Wasp ever go large? I don't think she did.
No.
Oh yeah, but she's got wings.
Right,
so.
Right. She was,
and blasters.
Yeah, she had the cool stuff. She was all about that compact style. So
feels a little more evened out then.
She has evolved. I think.
Or do we have to get you like a sound set or something?
I'm just hamming it, man.
There you are.
That's all I got. Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in. Looking forward to hear from you. Drop us a line, and of course, have a good one. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, there anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it'd be great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.